I checked my oil and I think we have a problem. I think we have a big problem. I'm super excited today because in this little box there is a transmission that will allow me to put a lot more power into that car. Okay, so what do we have here? So we have a Fidanza flywheel. That's a upgraded motor mount. I guess those are seals for the axles. Now this is an interesting thing. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not, but this is a clutch delay valve that's supposed to protect the new transmission, so we'll see. And then we have shift cables with the short shift kit. A little dirty, but I'm sure it's going to be functional. Yeah, the ends here are actually quite nice, so cool. And then we have a transmission that I know it has a little hole in it. Check it out. So apparently the guy I bought it from, he was running with this hole and it's been holding up fine. So I'm still trying to decide whether I'm going to have somebody weld it for me or not. Yeah, the transmission seems to be in a decent shape. It's the gear set that is inside that we are after. So yeah, very cool. Gotta clean it all up and order a few parts, new clutch and other things, and then we'll have to stick it into the car. So very exciting. I was so eager to start that I completely forgot to record my wrenching activities. Luckily, I took a bunch of pictures, so I can still share this adventure with you. To gain access to the engine bay, you need to remove the under tray. And because the Lotus designers didn't want amateurs like myself messing with the car, this thing is bolted by what it feels like 1,000 freaking bolts. After that annoying process, we secure the car on the jack stands. I know that some people with keen eyes are going to comment that I put my life at risk by using the Harbor Freight products, but I assume that Lotus weighs only about half of what a normal fat American car does, so my chances of survival went by about 50%. There are two ways to remove the transmission from the Lotus. One is to do it with the clam on. While it is possible to do, I've done it in the past, it's quite a major pain. So this time, to make my life a lot easier, I opted to remove the clam, and that made it possible to have a much nicer and safer access to the engine bay. What always feels very stressful while messing with the transmission is the removal of the whole suspension assembly from the driver's side. I always worry that I will damage something, and let me not get started on fighting the stupid clips that hold the axles in place. As you can see, the whole process was a success. And here we have two transmissions, side by side. On the outside they look pretty much identical, but on the inside, the BWR gear set will be a lot stronger than the stock Toyota internals. Finally, ready for some torque, baby. Before putting the new transmission in, I upgraded the shift cables and installed the short shift mechanism as well. All the moving parts use spherical bearings that eliminate any slop out of the system. For the context, my previous car was Honda S2000, and to be quite honest, the original Lotus shift linkage was quite disappointing. However, with all these new mods, the shift feel is even more satisfying now than my Honda ever was. To make all of the new shiny bits work together well, I also installed new ACT XTSS clutch. Then I put everything back together, and since I didn't have any bolts left over, I figured that I probably did a decent job enough of making the little car whole again, and very excited went for a test drive. The new transmission in the Lotus is absolutely amazing. The gearing is fantastic. I can do 0 to 60 in one gear. But there is a little bit of a problem. I was getting ready for my autocross, thinking that I'm going to destroy my competition because now I have a great gearing. I checked the oil and I think we have a problem. I think we have a big problem.